Hello everyone, Whiskey Wednesday again, as you can imagine. Today's something just massive. It's massive in every single word and every single definition of it you can imagine within whiskey. Highland Park, famous brand, as famously said by Michael Jackson, the whiskey writer, not the pop star. He once said, it's the best all-round whiskey you can buy. Currently drinking Highland Park 12 at home, couldn't agree with him more. Delicious whiskey that ticks every box. The whiskey over my right shoulder is another single cask we've picked up. Now, I knew about this in advance. In June, I got the opportunity to go up to Glasgow and see our head office and go through our warehouse. Saw this stuff in a sample bottle. Inquired and got told what it was. This is an 11-year-old Highland Park. It's part of the new single barrel range. You've seen a few of them popping up all over the place. Germany, Denmark have had some exclusives. This is just for this shop, this company, the Whisky Shop. It's an 11-year-old matured in an American oak puncheon sherry cask. So American oak, sweet style of sherry, but still matured and used for sherry maturation within Spain, then transferred to Highland Park. I'm dipping around the edges here a little bit. It's natural colour, it's non-chill filtered, but it's 67% alcohol. I'm pretty sure it's the most powerful thing this company's ever bottled, and I'm fairly sure it's the most powerful thing in this single cask range that you'll see all around, I think Europe, at the minute I think it's just Europe. Now, a couple of weeks ago, during December actually, so last year now, I did a live stream about this whiskey. It was about cask strength whiskies, and there's an entire hour dedicated to this whiskey, and we go from 67% all the way down to what I imagine is 40% and talk about the different nuances. Just for your reference here, I've added a fair bit of water to this, just because I do have things to do after we shoot this review, so I don't want to be too drunk for them. So if you want to know the full context of the whiskey, please do watch the live stream from a month back. But this one we're going to talk about just kind of like the basic smells, the basic taste of it all. So let's roll on, let's do it. I think there's 615 bottles produced to this, but let's see what's going on. So unusually, and when you don't add any water to this at all, even with the amount I've added now, there's no smoke. It's almost invisible. You don't get any smoke at all. What you do get, super creamy, kind of like fudge. There's a toffee, banana, those little foam banana sweets you used to get as a kid, tons of that kicking around. In all honesty, it reminds me so much of rum. If you poured this to me blind, I would never have said it was a single malt whiskey, let alone a Scottish single malt whiskey with smoke in it. It smells like a big Caribbean, kind of like Barbados soaked raisiny kind of rum. There's elements of like hot chocolate powder in it. A tasting note or a smelling note we've not had for a long time, and this is like pencil shavings. That kind of like fresh wood kind of smell. But just really sweet, like condensed milk, really good vanilla ice cream, custard, but like no smoke, no spice. Yeah, there's water in it, but even at, this is probably still like in and around the 60 mark. Just no heat, nothing at all. So yeah, a bit alluring on the nose. It might be a little bit too alluring, it's almost like a trap. But let's taste it. So there's still a little bit of hit towards the back. So this is still kicking around at least, I'd say like 58% to 60. It's still got that edge to it. The texture is unbelievable. It's just like oil. It just fills every little section of your mouth, every little kind of indentation in your tooth. It coats absolutely everything. Still no smoke. I'm not picking up anything. And those, condensed milk, toffee, fudge, caramel notes are just like exacerbated. That's probably not the right word, but they're just built up to such this massive degree within your palate. Unbelievable depth to it. It's just not 67%. I mean, that one isn't, but in general, I've tried this neat, and yeah, there's a little bit of kind of like a kind of vibe to it. But it's not as intimidating as it sounds. Obviously, don't drink all of it straight because you will hurt yourself. But please do experiment. If you've got one of your own, please open it and experiment with as much water as possible. Yeah, it's just creamy and delicious and thick and full. Like I say, with more water, the smoke comes out. You get that kind of coffee, honey, dark chocolate note, and the smoke you get with like Highland Park 12 and 18. As bad as it sounds, I could sit here and drink this all day. I've no idea what strength this is exactly with water in it, but it's delicious, and I think I've found my sweet spot for it. Straight out the bottle, well, obviously straight out the cask, this thing's just like, it's like a pirate. It's just angry, but you know, once you kind of get past the surface a little bit, it's got that Jack Sparrow kind of charm to it. It's quite charismatic. It's very informative in ways that you didn't think it would be, and everyone likes a little bit of madness in their life, and I think this whiskey summarises that. It's about £95 a bottle, and it's exclusively for our W Club. So we have a membership club within the Whisky Shop company, and it's like 20 quid a year to join. But this, or having the opportunity to buy one of these, is one of the perks of it, which is pretty cool. And it was actually our members that helped pick this bottle. So thank you to all of our members who are watching this who got sent sample stock, because you tried it before we did, which was pretty cool. You can call it biased because I work for these guys, but I've already bought 2 of them. And I just think that it is the most outrageous, yet the most delicate product we've had in a long time. And I know that's a juxtaposition, but I'm gonna give it 10. I just think you see the ABV, you're like, yeah, you buy it, you taste it, and you're like, this is all fantastic. And I'm not really a massive fan of big sherry cask strength whiskies in the past. Like, I'm not a fan of Aberlour Buna. I've never really been a Glenfarclas 105 fan. This isn't as sherry as that in any way, and I think it has so much more flavour and so much more charisma than any of those whiskies have for me personally. So, first 10 of the year. I don't normally get one in January, but I think it walks it. I really think it does. So the Highland Park W Club 11-year-old at 67% alcohol, 10. Flat out. You can argue with me in the comments if you like, but I'll defend it. So thank you all for watching. This is the Whisky Shop Manchester. I'm Phil. Pop in and see me sometime because I've got this much left. And thank you all for watching. We will see you next week. Cheers.